I'm back, and today I will show you my 5 favorite transitions in After Effects. Let's go! The first animation I want to show you is this nice circle transition. And before we start, my composition size is 1080 by 1080 with 60 frames per second. To create this transition, we need 2 clips, and the first thing we want to do is add a new solid layer. So head to the top, click on Layer, New, and select Solid. For the color, you need to pick whatever color you want your circle to be in. In my case, white, so I'm going to select white. Press on OK, and then OK. Now we need to cut this layer wherever we want the animation to start. In my case, I wanted to start a few frames before my 2 clips cut, so I'm going to cut it right here by pressing Ctrl Shift and D. Then select the solid layer, head to the top and click onto the rectangle tool. Hold down and then select ellipse tool. With this tool selected, we can click onto our composition and then draw a nice circle for our transition. One thing you want to watch out for is that when you create this circle, you want to hold Shift on your keyboard, that way it's nice and round. And once we created our nice round circle, we want to make sure we put it into the center of the screen. What can help with that is using the proportional grid, and to activate it, you can click right here and select proportional grid. Now we will have a grid covering our screen, and we can just select the center point right here, then double click onto the edge of our mask, this orange outline, and then use the center of our mask to drag it into the middle of our screen right here. To now actually create the popping in animation, we're going to press M on our keyboard while having the layer selected, and that will bring up the mask path. Now we're going to set a keyframe right here, very important, at the beginning of our solid layer. And now we want to go ahead to wherever we want this animation to be finished, which is in my case when these 2 clips cut right here. We're going to make a second keyframe right here by double clicking onto the edge again, and now just dragging the mask big so it covers the entire screen like this. Make sure that you don't leave any edges in the top corners, so make sure that the circle actually covers your whole composition and don't leave any corners on the edges. On top of that, make sure that the center point of the mask is in the center of your screen. For that, again, use the proportional grid. Once that's done, we want to go back to the beginning, to the first keyframe, and now make this circle way smaller. So we're going to do the same thing, but the other way around. Just click onto the mask, select the outer line by double clicking, and then just drag it small. Make sure that the center of the mask stays into the center of the screen, and now just make it very, very tiny. Well, actually, this is pretty average size. Once that's done, we can zoom out, and if we now play ahead, you can see we have this animation of the mask getting bigger. Next thing we're going to do is duplicate this layer, because we want one circle to be white and one to be red. So select the layer and press Ctrl and D. Now with the top layer selected, we can press U and then drag it ahead until the point of our transition right here. So make sure that the beginning of the duplicated layer aligns with the cut in your transition. Next, we're going to open up the effects and presets and search for fill. Drag the fill effect onto the top layer we just duplicated and leave the color as red or put it to whatever color you want. What we have to do now is adjust the graphs of the animation so it looks way smoother. And to do that, we're going to select all of the keyframes, right click, go to Keyframe Assistant and hit Easy Ease. Let's start with the first circle. We're going to select the keyframes and open up the graph editor. If you edit the graph of a mask, you cannot select the value graph, so it's automatically going to be the speed graph looking like this. That's no problem though. What we want to do is click on one of the points and then just drag the left one to the right all the way like this. For the second circle, it's going to be a bit different. So we're going to close the graph editor of the first circle, select the keyframes of the second and open up the graph editor again. Like before, we're going to edit the speed graph, and this time we want to click onto the bottom, then drag this first handle to the left a bit, and the right one we're going to drag all the way to the left as well. This will make the second animation a bit faster, so now close the graph editor. And one more thing we have to do is select all the keyframes, hold down Alt on our keyboard, and then just extend them a bit to the right. Make sure those keyframes are longer than the first ones. Now when we play our edit, you should have this animation with the 2 circles popping up, but our clip is not visible yet. And to make our clip appear with the red circle, we're going to select the mask that we created here, which is called Mask 1, you can see with the orange outline, and we're going to duplicate it by pressing Ctrl and D. Now we should have 2 masks, Mask 1 and Mask 2. Bring up the keyframes from the second mask by pressing U on your keyboard, and we're going to select these 2 keyframes, then drag them 1 frame to the right and just extend the last one by pressing down Alt and just dragging it to the right a bit like this. Once that's done, go back to the mask settings, and where it says Add, replace that with Subtract. You can see now we have a hole inside our red mask, and we want to replace this white circle with our clip. So we're going to take these 2 keyframes that we just duplicated and then copy them by pressing Ctrl and C. Now move your time indicator to the first keyframe, click onto the second original solid layer and paste them by pressing Ctrl and V. Again, for this mask, instead of Add, select Subtract. And now when we play ahead, you can see we already have our clip appearing. And to make our animation look way nicer, we're going to start by pressing F on our keyboard and then increase the mask feather from 0 to 15 for all of our masks. So select 15 and then paste it onto each one of the masks. Next, we have to make sure to enable motion blur for all of our masks by clicking onto this button. And then we're going to cut these solid layers after our clip ends by selecting them and pressing Ctrl Shift and D. Delete delete everything that comes past here, and then select both layers, right click, go to pre-compose, select the bottom two options and press on OK. Now go to your effects and presets and search for Deep Glow, drag it onto the new pre-composition layer we created. And by the way, if you can't find this effect in your After Effects, you can download it for free from the Discord server in the description. Inside of the settings, put the exposure from 1 to 0.5, then open up the tint, enable it, and put the mix from 100 down to 30. And now the last thing we need to do before our transition is finally finished is add some movement. So go to the first clip and press S on your keyboard. Set a keyframe for the scale at the very beginning, then go to the point where the transition is happening right here and set the value from 100 up to 125. Then select the second clip and again press S on your keyboard. Set a keyframe for the scale, but this time put the value from 100 down to 90. Then go ahead to the end of the clip and put it up to 115. Lastly, select all of the keyframes, right click, go to Keyframe Assistant and click on Easy Ease. Select the first two keyframes, open up the graph editor, right click and then select Value Graph. In here, click onto the graph and then drag this bottom handle a bit to the right and the top one also a bit to the right. Close the graph editor, then select the other two keyframes, then open the graph editor again. And this time we're going to do the other way around. So we're going to select the top handle, drag it a bit to the left, and then the bottom one also a bit to the left. Now apply your high quality color correction and preview your transition. This is personally one of my favorite transitions, and if you want to get the exact color correction I use to make my edits look the best as possible, make sure to check the first link in the description because there's currently a huge Black Friday deal going on in my shop. If you want to go viral, you need to check it out. The next transition I want to show you is this nice slide transition. It is kind of simple but very popular. To start, again, we're going to need two clips where we want the transition to happen, but this time instead of having one end and the next start, we need to overlap them. What that means is that we have to select the top clip and then drag it to the left so both the clips overlap, as you can see. That's necessary because otherwise when we play the animation, one of the clips will just cut off and the other one will be playing, and we want both to play at the same time. That's why we need to overlap them. And to actually get to the transition, we're going to use a camera. So head to the top, click on Layer, New, and select Camera. In here, just leave the standard values, press on OK. And to use the camera, we're also going to add a null object. So again, click on Layer, New, and select null object. Now you should have two new layers on top of your clips, and with this camera we can make this transition way easier. To use it, the only thing we need to do is select this pick whip tool right here, hold down on it, and then drag it onto the null object. And what's also important is that we enable 3D for our clips. So just click onto this box on the very right where this cube is appearing, and now when we move the null object, you can see our clips will be moving too. But before we do that, we have to move our top clip to the right side of our screen. So select the top clip and press P on your keyboard. Then increase the value on the very left until the clip is nearly out of screen. So something like this. You want to make sure that you don't go too far with your clip, otherwise you will have a black gap between your clips. So keep it nice and close and barely at the edge of your composition. Now we're going to go to the beginning of the top clip. And by the way, you can also make this animation from the left, top or bottom. In my case, I just want to do it from the right. And now we're going to select the null object, right click, go to separate dimensions, and then set a keyframe for the X position. Then move your time indicator to the end of the first clip right here. And now just increase the X position until the second clip is fully visible. Only thing you want to watch out for is that you don't go too far, otherwise you can see you will have a black line on the right side of your composition, so keep it in space. And now we're going to select both the keyframes, right click, go to Keyframe Assistant and hit Easy Ease. Open the graph editor and make sure that Value Graph is selected. Now click onto the bottom point and just drag it a bit to the right, then select the top one and drag it to the left. Close the graph editor and apply your high quality color correction. And now you have this awesome slide animation, and like before, you want to make sure that you enable motion blur for both of the layers. The next effect I want to show you is this nice ripple effect. And before you think ripple effect that's boring, just watch because I added something new that makes it look way cooler. I bet you don't know this yet. Unfortunately, I ran out of clips from Patrick Bateman, so for this transition we're going to use Joe Goldberg. Anyway, to start we want to make a new adjustment layer, so head to the top, click on Layer, New, and select Adjustment. And this adjustment layer we want to cut 20 frames before our transition and 30 frames after, so that it's a total of 50 frames long. And if you wonder how to count frames, you can see my transition happens at 60 frames, which is 1 second, so we're going to go 20 frames to the left, which will be at the 40 marker. 60 minus 20 is 40. Cut the adjustment layer right here by pressing Ctrl Shift and D and delete everything that's before here. Then go back to the cut, and now we're going to cut it 30 frames to the right, so we can just go from 1 to 30 and do the same thing here, cut it and then delete everything that comes after here. Now we're going to add the BCC ripple effect, so go to effects and presets and search for BCC ripple dissolve. Drag it onto the adjustment layer, and again, if you can't find this effect, get it from the Discord server. Inside the effect controls, we want to put the height from 30 to 15, then open up the animation tuning and put the ease in from 0 to 100. Next, we want to create a solid layer, so click on layer, new, and select solid. In here, change the color to red, but go for a darker red, like this. Press on OK and then OK, and cut the solid layer to the same duration of your adjustment layer, like this. Then delete everything that's past there, and again select the ellipse tool from the toolbar right here. Then select the red solid layer, and like before, we want to create a circular mask, but this time we want to make it way bigger than the composition. So you can zoom out, hold down shift to make it a nice circle, and then just draw a mask like this. Press M on your keyboard and go to the beginning of this layer. Set a keyframe for the mask path, and then we're going to go to where the clips cut right here. Then again double click onto the edges of the mask and make it go way smaller. So it's about this size, okay? So we don't want it as small as earlier, but we want it to be about this size, and also put it into the center. And then very important, enable this check mark that says inverted. Press F on your keyboard and put the mask feather from 0 to 250. Then go to the beginning of the red solid layer and press T on your keyboard. We want to set a keyframe for the opacity at 100 here. Then go to the end and put it down to 0. If we now press U, there should be a total of 4 keyframes, and we're going to select all of them, right click, go to keyframe assistant and hit easy ease. Now only select the top 2 for the mask path, open the graph editor, and then copy this graph. Just click onto one of the points and drag the one on the left all the way to the right like this. If you want to, you can also drag the right one a bit to the left, and now close the graph editor. Lastly, we're going to make another adjustment layer, so head to the top, click on layer, new, and select adjustment layer, then also trim it to fit with the other layers. And for this layer, we're going to search the S_shake effect. Drag it onto the layer and make sure this layer is above all the others. Now set a keyframe for the amplitude at the point of the transition and put the value from 1 to 0.5. Then press U to bring up the keyframes, go to the beginning of the layer and put the amplitude down to 0. Do the same thing at the end, put the amplitude from 0.5 to 0. Now you should have 3 keyframes, and we also want to put the frequency from 8 down to 5 and then enable the checkmark that says motion blur. Select the keyframes we just created, right click, go to keyframe assistant and click on easy ease. Then open up the graph editor, and for the graph, click on here and then just copy this exact graph, drag the top one to the right and then the bottom one to the left like this. Close the graph editor and apply your color correction, and just like this you created this unique ripple transition. And if you don't want to do all of this yourself, check out the second link in the description where you can unlock hours worth of exclusive content, weekly live calls, and of course the project file for this and many other tutorials. Next transition I want to show you is this nice masking background transition. And who would have thought, to make it, again we're gonna need 2 clips, and I want my transition behind the right side of his face. So first of all, I'm gonna take this clip and duplicate it by pressing Ctrl and D. While having this new layer selected, I'm gonna go to the top and select the pen tool. Now all I gotta do is just draw a mask around my character, roughly covering his body. Make sure to go along the outlines and also cover his hair, so don't exclude that, but make sure everything is selected. Once you reach the top like this, because I only want the transition to be happening on the right side, I'm gonna go up like this and then close this mask by just reconnecting it. Then I'm gonna press M on my keyboard and again select the inverted checkbox next to the mask. If we only look at this layer, you can see the background is now black because we have removed the background from here, and this is where we're gonna place our clip. And to remove these sharp edges around his face, I'm gonna click onto my layer, press F on my keyboard and put the mask feather from 0 up to 50. Let's enable the layer again, and now I'm gonna drag the second clip that I wanna have appear in the background to overlap with this clip, about this much. And to actually have it in the background, I'm gonna take this clip and drag it underneath the one we just masked out, so it's in between these 2 clips. And of course now I have to reposition it because my character is in the center of the screen and I want them to be visible here. So I'm gonna take this clip and just drag it until my character is visible. You can also change the scaling a bit, so press S, make it a bit smaller and make sure that it fits in here. And once you've positioned the clip right, I also want to drag it a bit more to the left so it overlaps for a bit longer, and then press T on my keyboard. Now set a keyframe at the start of this clip and put the opacity from 100 down to 0. Then go ahead a few frames when you want this clip to be appearing and put the opacity up to 100. That way our clip will slowly fade in. And because we want our edit to zoom in on this clip, we're again gonna add a camera. So head to the top, click on layer, new, and then select camera. Leave the standard settings and then layer, new, and null object. Like before, we need to select the pick whip and drag it onto our null object. Then we're gonna enable 3D for all of our layers, including the null object. And now we're gonna press P while having the null object selected. Right click onto position and click separate dimensions. Wherever you want the zoom in to start, we're gonna set keyframes for all of these values and leave them how they are. Then we're gonna go to where we want the zoom in to be finished, let's say about here, and then increase the Z position a bit and also play around with the values for the position so that it zooms in onto our character's face like this. You should make sure that your clip is entirely in the center of the screen. And to make the other clip in the background disappear, we're also gonna select the clip right here, press T on our keyboard, then set a keyframe for the opacity, go ahead to where we want the clip to be fully invisible and put it down to 0. Now copy these keyframes by selecting them and pressing Ctrl and C, and then also paste them onto the bottom layer. I also want my clip to fade in a bit earlier, so I'm gonna drag the middle layer a bit more to the left. And now when we play ahead, you can see the base of the transition is already done. We only have to change the graphs. So press U on your keyboard to bring up all the graphs, select them at once, right click, go to Keyframe Assistant and hit Easy Ease. Then only select the Z position in the null object, open the graph editor, and just extend these handles a bit to the middle like this. Close the graph editor again and do this for all these positioning keyframes that are on top of the null object as well. So here we're gonna drag this a bit to the middle as well, like we did before. And then lastly, for the X position, we're gonna do the same thing. Select the keyframes and then extend these handles into the middle like this. And now if you want this animation to be a bit longer, you can select all the keyframes. You can extend them by pressing Alt. You can also move the opacity keyframes a bit around, however you want. Don't forget to add your color correction, and now you have this nice masking transition. The last transition I wanna show you is this nice halftone black bar transition. And to make it, once again, we're gonna need 2 clips, and we're gonna start by creating a new adjustment layer. Head to the top, click on layer, new, and select adjustment. And this one, we're gonna cut a few frames before the transition at about 30 frames before, and then also 30 frames after the transition is happening. Once that's done, we're gonna duplicate this layer by pressing Ctrl and D. And on the bottom one, we're gonna apply the BBC halftone effect. And in here, we're gonna put the scale from 5 to 10, and then press T on our keyboard. Set a keyframe at the point where the transition is happening for 100%. Then go to the beginning and put the value from 100 down to 0. Same thing at the end, go to the end and put another keyframe for 0%. Next, we're gonna create a black solid layer. So go to layer, new, select solid. Make sure the color is set to black and then press on to OK. Cut this layer at the end of the second clip right here and then delete everything that comes after. For this layer, we're gonna apply the CC Jaws effect. So search CC Jaws, drag it onto the black solid layer and put the height from 10 to 0%. Again, go to where the transition is happening right here and then set a keyframe for the completion and put it up to 70%. Then press U and go to the beginning of the layer. Here we're gonna put the completion from 70 to 100% and at the same time set a keyframe for the direction. Change this value from 0 to 100 and then we're going to go to the end, also put a keyframe for the completion at 100% and change the direction keyframe from 100 to 83. Then once again search for the S_shake effect and drag it onto the top adjustment layer that we earlier duplicated. Move the time indicator to the transition and set a keyframe for the amplitude at 0.5. Put the frequency to 5 and enable motion blur. Then go to the beginning of the adjustment layer and put the amplitude from 0.5 down to 0. Same thing at the end, go to the end and put it again from 0.5 down to 0. Now when we press U, we should have all of these keyframes and we're going to select them all at once. Right click, go to Keyframe Assistant and hit Easy Ease. Start with the S-shake keyframes, select all of them, then open the graph editor and copy the same graph as earlier. Drag this one to the right and this one we're going to drag to the left. Close the graph editor and now we're going to do the direction of the black bars. So select these keyframes, open the graph editor, and for here we just want to drag both of them towards the middle like this. That way we get this nice bump. Close the graph editor, of course, apply your color correction and enable motion blur for all of these layers. And that's how we make this awesome black bar halftone transition. Again, if you want to get the exact color correction I use to make my edits look the best as possible, I mean, you've seen a difference. Make sure to not miss out on the Black Friday sale, first link in the description. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe because at 2000 likes, I'm going to drop the next part. Take care and see you next time.